You're watching DCTV Denton Community Television.
Follow your dreams, and they say, do what you want, and money will come.
Hello there, hope you're having a great day, and thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. And the Dallas Observer has released their list of nominees, and it's quite interesting, and so maybe you'll check that out. And a couple of the past guests have been nominated, and I'm really glad for them, and we'll talk about that more as the season goes on. And I'm glad to have guest today, Steve Jackson. Steve, thank you for being here.
Nice to be here.
And so you have a CD that you've finished recently and been doing some shows. See, you had a CD release show the other night. And
Yes, we did. We just finished the product and actually didn't get the CDs in until the day before.
Oh, really?
From the replicators up in Indiana. So it was
Yeah.
kind of unnerving.
yeah.
But yeah, very proud of the CD.
And you're involved with Thad Bonduras, and
Thad is an intricate part on the production of the CD, and he's been with me for 3.5 years now.
really,
And I actually work with Thad during the day.
yeah,
He's a really great guy. He's been a mentor to me and been a really great friend over the past 3.5 years. And I'm really proud to say he is a friend.
I'm just beginning to learn about his level of expertise, but he's really quite a musician.
He is something. He's, he does everything, especially in the backing chords and all that. He really just fills out every song.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't he get a degree in from UNT just later in life? He went back and studied music more in depth. And,
Yeah, he got his master's in music education, and I want to say it was in 2010.
yeah,
And he's proudly displayed on his wall there in his office.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot of
rightfully
hard
so.
work, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
yeah. When did you first start writing songs?
Oh, well, 72.
Yeah, and you were playing in rock bands back then?
Playing rock and roll bands back then. Still love rock and roll. I've always been a bigger fan of jazz. I love to listen to jazz. I don't try to play it that much because I leave that to people who can do it better than I can. But jazz is my first love to listen to.
And you played guitar back then too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played guitar since '69.
Have you ever played bass in bands? Or?
Not a band. No. I
Yeah.
played it on a couple of things I've tried to do at home, but
Yeah.
it's better left to somebody who knows what they're doing.
What kind of guitars did you used to play back then?
Back then, I had several. I had Les Pauls. Two of them I got fortunate one time at a garage sale and bought a '57 Les Paul
Really?
for $125 in mint condition, and I kept that for a few years and then sold it for a lot more money than that. But had 3 Les Pauls, 2 Strats, but Gibson Birdland, just all kinds of guitars, and loved playing them. And used every one of them at every show that we ever did.
Yeah, yeah. Do you lean more toward acoustic these days?
Nowadays, when I'm away from music, I work construction. I've put knives and chisels through my fingers too much, and I've lost my dexterity, and I can't play lead guitar like I did back then. And so now it's basically the strumming, and the picking. I can do a lot of that.
Musical instruments are physically intensive. It's a lot of. I try to play guitar a little, and my hand gets so sore just in 20 minutes.
I find it just the other. For me, doing everything else I do, it's a repetitive motion. I have carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah.
And if I'm out there, swinging a hammer, framing a house, then when I come home, my hands are real stiff, and I will sit on the couch and do nothing but scales and chords and everything else just to limber up.
Yeah.
And you have to get past that to where it will actually, do the therapy.
Yeah.
And it's just a reverse for me. But it's muscle memory is everything, and of course, the older you get, the tougher it gets.
I guess, but you were talking about music for the boomers, more or less. That
Yeah.
it's like a forgotten market or something. It seems like there's so much emphasis on even teenage music and stuff. It seems like on the radio, on a lot of radio.
It is. It's. I feel that it's more directed at the teenagers. you know, there's a lot of computer-generated music I like to call, where, you know, there's a lot of people who do not have to go in to the studio knowing how to play an instrument. As long as they can know how to work a MIDI board, they're fine. When I sit down and write a song, I want it more directed at people from my generation, the baby boomers, because I feel that the best music came from between 1964 and 1976. And so I kind of stay within that and then kind of put a new spin as much as I can to it, but try to keep it familiar.
Who were some of your main influences?
Well, the Beatles, of course.
Yeah,
First time I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan Show, I think I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew exactly what I wanted to be.
Yeah. What did they sing?
On that was I Want to Hold Your Hand and Saw Her Standing There, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe Please Please Me. It's been a long time ago. You know,
They wrote some good songs.
they did. Then, of course, in the Eagles, Dan Fogelberg, and the more pop genre, James Taylor. Then getting into jazz. In the same year, I discovered Vince Guaraldi and fell in love with jazz. And
Steely Dan, you like
Steely
that?
Dan, yeah, through the roof on Steely Dan. Then there's, you know, my hero is Pat Metheny.
Really, yeah.
And I haven't missed a show of his since, I'm sorry, I want to say it's like 77.
Yeah.
Just love going and seeing the guy play. It's
He
just,
tours quite a bit.
yeah, he does. It's constantly. I think he does like 300 nights a year.
Really?
And, you know, he's just changed jazz for the better, I think. Because, you know, for a long time there in the 90s, it was getting into that smooth jazz where it was, you know, more horns and everybody did the alto sax, you know, Kenny G and so on and so forth. And Metheny has more, you know, the nice melodic guitar lines, you know, and he takes everything in new directions all the time, and I really like that. He's not afraid to explore, and I think that's, you know, what music should be.
What are some of the bigger hits that they do?
Metheny, hit-wise, he's, I don't know if he's ever even charted.
Yeah.
You know, he's had...
He can just do covers of anything, I guess.
Oh, yeah, he did. He won a Grammy this past year for, he does a solo baritone guitar with covers and his rendition of it. You know, of course, it's all instrumental. The, sorry, I fall into exactly what I want to say on that. But most of his stuff is purely just, you know, when we say existential jazz, I mean, it just, he pushes the boundaries on everything. You know, he uses a sitar, electric sitar in jazz. When he had a song called Last Train Home. And that was done in 87, 89. Very beautiful tune, you know, and it really has that feeling of a train. You know, the cadence just moving, chugging along, and with the sitar playing on it. But like I say, he pushed the boundary. He changes almost every CD with something new.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it's always been a big influence on me, and I didn't realize how big it was in my writing or anything else until the past several years when somebody will come out and see the show and review it. They put a reference to me, to Pat Metheny, and I'm like, it's the biggest honor I've had. Here in Denton, DentonRadio.com compares me to Paul Simon and Pat Metheny.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, you know, how can you do any better than that?
Yeah, that's great. So you've been working with the DentonRadio.com people?
Yeah, just recently they come out and saw, I do a birthday show annually.
Oh, really?
And we did ours this year at the Banter.
Yeah.
And they were out there for that show. And
What was the name of the band that you work with then?
I front the band, Acoustic Distortion.
Oh, Acoustic Distortion,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the name of my band when I do it. The new CD is just Steve Jackson.
Yeah.
But Acoustic Distortion has, by all intents and purposes, is me.
Okay.
My name, the name comes from a hearing, or an affliction that I had in hearing disorder.
Really?
Back 19 years ago. And
Is that
when
right?
the doctor was writing things down when I was telling my symptoms, he wrote down Acoustic Distortion. And I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. So I kept that on the back burner for the name, and we used it, but Thad has said at times that when he first heard the name Acoustic Distortion, it evoked the images of an indie pop band, which anything but indie pop.
And he plays in that band with you a lot of times?
Yeah, he did. He did for the biggest part of the last 3 years. But this, like I said, this CD has changed, and it's just my name on there. And of course, it's available on iTunes, and you know, you go and Steve Jackson on iTunes, and there's like 3 Steve Jacksons, you know. But I'm the only one that has Goodnight Moon.
Goodnight Moon.
Yeah, that's the name of the CD.
And the best way for people to find you? Are you on SoundCloud or Reverb
I'm on
Nation?
SoundCloud, Reverb Nation. You can go to acousticdistortion.com to
yeah.
find that.
Yeah.
And SoundCloud is just Steve Jackson. Again, there's like 3 others, 4 others, 5, 10, 20. It's kind of an anonymous name.
Oh, that's the way me. Yeah, there's so many.
Mark Miller's, yeah, there's tons of us out there. I have a buddy with the FBI. He says, it's got to be great to be somebody like you because you're anonymous in the world. You know, nobody can know who you are unless you're out there on the stage. I said, well, that's where I am.
Well, I do appreciate you coming by, and I'm going to get out of the way and let you play some music for us.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all stay tuned and check out Steve Jackson doing some of his songs for us. Thanks a lot.
All right, the first song is actually this last song on the new CD is called Wicked Web. What was I thinking? Where was my head? In moments of weakness that find us in bed. You're not my first time, just my best. And what were you doing? Chasing me? Wasn't there someplace that you should be? I'm not the one who wears a ring. What did you tell him when he found out? Did you convince him, leave him no doubts of our wicked web? And where was your conscience all of those nights? Could you not find it without the lights? It's funny what lust can make you do. And why did we give in to all those desires, stirring the passion, fanning the fires, burning those bridges all along? What did you tell him when he found out? Did you convince him, leave him no doubts of our wicked web? Lust in a woman, bring a man to the brink, the edge of his life if she wants. Didn't you? What did you tell him when he found out? Did you
of our wicked web.
This is the title track from the new CD, Goodnight Moon.
At night she walks the empty streets back home, after serving tea and coffee all night long. The little girl that no one really knows is off the clock and out the door she goes. She dances to the music now and then, words she knows but hums the tune instead. And she'll spy between the curtains now and then, searching for her one and only friend. Her father told her tales when she was small, about a rabbit who talked to pictures on the wall. And every night since then, alone inside her room, before she sleeps she whispers, "Good night, moon." She'll rarely share her heart with someone else. Her hopes and dreams, they're best kept to herself. Too many times she's found she's played the fool, and learned the truth, the world can be so cruel. Years ago she came to realize that fairy tales are only pretty lies. Well, wasn't Daddy honest and just tell her true? There were no kings, no prince, no good night moon. Last night she met a boy who made her smile, something no one's done in quite a while. The more they talked, the more she realized that maybe Daddy wasn't telling lies. He walked her home, they laughed, he kissed her cheek. He said goodnight, then vanished down the street. Somehow she knew her dreams had finally all come true. They said all in all it's been a good night moon.
Well, I made it through that one. I'm not going to try to push the voice any more than that. I'll do one more in the mid-range.
Yesterday I found your picture between the pages of a book. It's been so long since that September. It all came back with just one look. Your eyes were bright, your smile was brilliant. The summer sun had kissed your cheeks. You were young and so resilient, somehow so in love with me. Oh, summer days seem so far away, but you're back here with me in my memories. Upon the back in faded writing, a message reached across the years. I couldn't keep myself from crying, though I was smiling through the tears. You said I'd always be your lover, and how you'd always be my girl. You swore there'd never be another who'd take my place in this whole world. Oh, summer days seem so far away, but you're back here with me in my memories. Every woman since that summer has never made me feel that way, and everyone stood in your shadow and never saw the light of day. I spent the day just reminiscing about that summer in the past. Thought of life but love been missing since the day I saw you last. Your eyes were red for you'd been crying. You'd hug my neck to say goodbye. You couldn't see how I was dying. You damned it all my foolish pride. All those summer days seem so far away, but you're back here with me in my memories. Put the picture where I found it, between the pages of a book.
I think I'll try on an instrumental. I think my voice is about toast. This is called Ethereal.
follow your dreams. And they say, do what you want, and money will come. Lots of people have lots of dreams. Lots of people, it seems, when they are young, they look to the sky. They work harder